Loot boxes have been a highly discussed topic as of late, and with good reason. Many gamers have been angry about the methods in which these gambling devices have been implemented into the games that they enjoy, and even more gamers wish they did not exist at all, including me. Unfortunately, however, it seems the giant publishers are not slowing down the loot box train, and keep making money from them with exploitative methods. So if they are here to stay, is there at least any hope of these loot boxes being toned down, or any way to change their mechanics to be more fair? Or at the very least stop exploiting people with addictive tendencies? For the longest time, I thought the answer to both questions was no. And then this year, I started playing a free-to-play title called Warframe, and its loot box system proved me wrong on both fronts. Now Warframe has been around for quite a long time, and has this unique loot box system I plan to cover here. So I'm sure this has been discussed before, and those familiar with Warframe and its system that I'm going to explain may not learn much new information from this video, but I never played Warframe for more than 5 minutes before this year, and I want to talk about it now because it's kind of the only game I play these days. Firstly, I want to give a brief overview of loot boxes as a whole and how they generally work for the few blessed souls who are unaware of their function in modern gaming. A loot box is an in-game item you can typically purchase and or acquire in-game. This item contains goods and content that are valuable and desired by the players of the game. Much like a pack of cards for a game like Magic, the contents are distributed via a random drop chance. Furthermore, most loot boxes and what the chance for items you actually want are hidden from the player.
Not sure what's in here, to be honest.
Major issues people take up with these loot boxes is that they are far easier to purchase with real-world money than acquire in-game, and offer a large endorphin rush when the random chance works in your favor, making them very comparable to a slot machine. And since many of the games that include these loot boxes are targeted towards younger audiences, a lot of people are rightly concerned about the effects of gambling this can have on young gamers.
Disgusting, is it not, Operator?
Needless to say, loot boxes are a problem for the gaming world. One ugly problem that shows no signs of going away, and many companies are doing all that they can to obfuscate the negative effects on their audiences, both old and young. So what makes Warframe's loot box system so different? Well, a lot.
Are you ready, Tenno?
And what the hell is Warframe anyway? Well, Warframe is a free-to-play loot-based third-person shooter, with maybe one of the fairest and most consumer-friendly monetization models, certainly in the looter-shooter space, but also in the gaming space at large. Everything in the game can be earned without spending a cent, even the items that can only be purchased with their premium currency, Platinum. This is because Warframe allows players to trade this premium currency with other players for various items in game, which allows you to trade certain items you don't want for premium currency so you can get more color palettes or skins, for example.
A fearsome appearance, Operator.
The game being 99% PvE also helps make everything seem far more fair, since all active players are on the same side fighting against the enemies within Warframe's levels. And thankfully, all the items you can acquire from the game's loot boxes are tradable, including the loot boxes themselves. Many games have different ways of how these loot boxes are acquired by players. Some can be earned in-game, some can't, but all games let you buy them with money. In Warframe, the loot boxes, called relics, can be purchased with both premium and non-premium currencies, but just through doing the normal activities found playing the game, you will be showered in loot boxes to open. And while in most games you can simply click a button to open these things that may contain what you want, Warframe completely breaks the mold. Not only can you preview exactly what is in a relic before you open it, you can't just press a button and open hundreds at a time, triggering your endorphins until you want to buy more. Instead, you actually have to equip one of these relics at your choosing and take it into a special mission type. This mission type is called a Void Fisher. Don't ask, I do not have the time to explain Warframe lore in one video, let alone 100 videos.
Ha ha.
And these Void Fishers are a variant of any one of the game's many modes, with the objective being the same as it would in a normal mission of that type. For example, if the mission goal is to simply kill X number of enemies and then extract, That's still the goal. However, in a Void Fissure, you also have to try to actively collect enough of an item that only drops during these Void Fissures to open your relic.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
If you do, you get a random item from your relic in addition to the normal loot and rewards you would get from the mission, which can often be more relics to open later. If you fail to open your relic before the mission is over, you still keep your relic and can retry to open it another time. So in short, you cannot just easily open tons of Warframe's loot boxes over and over again. You have to actively play the game and take time just to open one. This does two things. Firstly, it makes the player's desire to purchase these relics en masse all but void, pun intended. Second, this makes it way harder to get addicted to these loot boxes that have seen so many people in our community become victim to this typically predatory monetization system. Opening one relic is not a simple click of a button that can be done in seconds. You have to actively spend typically 5 to 10 minutes completing an objective to do so. But Warframe doesn't just stop there. Not only can you see what is in a relic before you attempt to open it, not only does its method of how they are opened require a special activity in game slowing down the rate of how fast you can open them, but you can also change the odds of your relics. Typically, any relic you bring into a Fissure mission has the following odds, as indicated by the different colored lines below the items in each tier of common, uncommon, and rare items within said relic. However, using a currency called Void Traces that cannot be purchased and are only earned while opening other Void relics, you can change the odds of these three tiers, making it even more likely to get the items you are after. Another way Warframe helps players even the odds while opening relics actually takes place after you have already opened your relic. Each other player in the mission with you, up to 4 teammates, are also opening their own relics. But once opened, everyone openly shares their relic items and has an option for everyone else's. So if 4 people open their relic, you actually get to choose between 4 different items to get yourself a copy of. You can only choose one of these items, but you actually have a choice. The game also has a looking for group chat that can help make a group with all squad mates coordinating to bring a single upgraded version of the same relic on a mission, even further increasing your chance at someone opening your desired item and therefore everyone getting a copy of it should they choose to. Even if you don't get what you were after, you can always trade the items from these relics with other players, either directly for items you do want or just platinum you could use to trade with a different player who does have the item you want. This system of relic opening outshines any other loot box system in the industry, and if loot boxes are here to stay, they need to be more like Warframe's system, just simply making it so players can't sit for hours upon hours nearly opening loot boxes, buying loot boxes, and then opening hundreds more while spending more and more money that they are unaware of, and instead having them actively participate in an activity that requires some amount of effort to open them would have a huge effect on player psychology, and anything that makes it harder for our dopamine craving minds to destroy our lives is worth trying in my book. Warframe's loot box system has shown that there is in fact a way to make these things somewhat fair and much more safe. And I would say that other developers and publishers should take a cue from Digital Extremes and their relic system, but the problem with that is this system has been around for quite a while, and it's been successfully accepted and applauded by the Warframe community. However, most publishers don't actually want to input systems that would be helpful and healthy. They instead want to exploit that dopamine in our brains and make us want to buy countless loot boxes, not actually play the game the loot boxes are in, which is very easy to do for a lot of people. Never touch the actual game and just open more and more loot boxes, which is the publisher's end goal. Warframe, by letting you change the odds, preview the items, trade with players, and requiring you to actually play the game to open them, clearly shows Digital Extremes has a different end goal: for you to actually play the game.